What's going on, you guys? Frost and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'll be doing an in-depth Kha'Zix jungle guide. I definitely needed to remake my other guide because a lot has changed with this preseason and the way Dark Harvest works. So there is a different build on Kha'Zix, which is a lot better, which comes with a different playstyle as well. So yeah, Kha'Zix right now, one of the better junglers you can play with a very good early, mid, and late game. If you can get resets in late game team fights, you can completely carry and just one-shot the enemy team one by one. Alright, let's get right into the runes then. On Kha'Zix, you want to start Electrocute. This is just overall to improve your burst damage. Dark Harvest right now is way too weak. The damage on this is really low compared to what it used to be. You can't stack it up anymore either, and overall it's just been nerfed way too hard. The only situation where Dark Harvest on Kha'Zix is still good is in team fights. So after about 20 stacks and you hit the mid to late game where you can get resets in team fights, that's where Dark Harvest starts to outperform Electrocute. But that's really not that worth it because you prefer the early game damage on this so you can get to a better point in the game, mid to late game. Unless you're, hard smurfing on the enemies, then Dark Harvest is outperforming Electrocute easily. But to get a fair advantage and just to be able to 1v1 enemy junglers better, Electrocute is the rune you want to go with. Then moving on is Sudden Impact. You have Stealth, you have Leaps. So Sudden Impact gives you 7 lethality for that straight up, which is just going to help you one-shot people a lot easier. Moving on, you have Eyeball Collection or Ghost Burrow. These are the only two options. Ghost Burrow is if you really don't have anyone on your team to rely on and you need to ward for yourself. Which, in the lower elos might be the case, so this will prevent you from losing your other buff, really. So you can place the Ghost Burrow in a brush that will spot the enemy jungler walking towards your other buff camp. So in that situation, this is the one you want to go with. If not, Eyeball Collection is better just for straight damage scaling. And then you end this rune off with Ravenous Hunter. The reason you want to get this rune is because this works really well with your Q, and overall gives you a lot of healing, which is gonna just improve your 1v1 capabilities a lot. So that's definitely why you want this rune. Other Kha'Zix players might use Relentless Hunter as well to just get better positioning, but overall the better sustain is better than this because you do build Ghostblade as well, and you do have leaps and your ultimate to get good positioning on the enemy anyway. Now, moving on to the secondary tree, you have the sorcery tree option with Absolute Focus and Gathering Storm. You can also go with Absolute Focus and Water Walking if you prefer that, but I tend to go for Gathering Storm a lot more because with Electrocute you have a really good early game, but with Gathering Storm you're going to have an insane late game as well. So this really rounds out pretty much everything Kha'Zix is about, gives you a good early, mid, and late game. If you don't get Gathering Storm, your late game might just fall off a little bit, and that's not something you want. The more armor the enemy gets, the more difficult it's going to be to one-shot them, unless you have this rune to get a lot of extra AD after 30 and 40 minutes, and just onwards from there. So those are the runes, and then the extra runes for just flat stats. You want to go with double Adaptive Force, just to get as much AD as possible. This will scale really well with your Q damage and just overall jungle clear speed and 1v1 potential. And then on the last one you have a couple of options. If you're facing an AP jungler like Evelynn or Elise or maybe even Diana, then you can get Magic Resist here to prevent from getting one shot in those 1v1 situations. If you're facing heavy AD champions like Xin Zhao or Camille, Camille not the best example because of her true damage, but just any type of AD jungler, then the armor here really works well. And if you're facing a lot of tanks, then defense, the straight health is the best option there. So it's either one of those three, just pick whatever your opponent is. Then, moving into the item build, starting items on Kha'Zix are very straightforward. You go for the Hunter's Talisman because this gives you the most health back. This allows you to clear Raptors and Crocs as well, which can allow you to go for a very leveling heavy early start to your clear. In good matchups you can do that. In bad matchups you're going to have to clear a little bit faster. And if you're going to clear a little bit faster, then the Hunter's Machete is better for that. But overall, I would recommend you to go with the Hunter's Talisman. Now, Hunter's Talisman combines very well with the refillable potion. Just any jungle item and a refillable potion is really what you're looking for. So yeah, straightforward there. Now, the first main item you want to go and upgrade for is the Red Smite Warrior enchant. Sorry, not the Red Smite, the Blue Smite Warrior enchant. Blue Smite is just there to slow the enemy down a lot, also help you with burst damage. Kha'Zix doesn't really need red smite because you are kind of dodging and weaving with your ultimate, all the damage, all the like dancing around the enemy. Having the extra movement speed from that and the slow on this will help you a lot. Also, extra burst damage will help you just one-shotting people even easier. So this is by far the best one to go for, the Blue Smite Warrior enchant. Also, when you complete this, you hit a massive power spike because your damage just skyrockets, and at this point you'll also have your Q evolve as well, so you can do a lot of damage in 1v1 situations, especially just if you find a support or a squishy enemy jungler, you can probably delete them in one hit. So this item is a massive power spike, and you gotta remember that as well. Now, boots are a viable option to buy in between completing your warrior jungle item, but if you do have the money to just get straight items for this, it's better, and just skip your boots until after. You want to get to this as fast as you can. Now, boot options are pretty straightforward. It's either Ninja Tabais or Mercs. Depending on the enemy team, if they have a lot of CC, you go Mercs. If they don't, then you go Ninja Tabais. It's pretty straightforward that way. Now, something that might differ here is the Tiamat. You can go for Tiamat if you want to. At this point, with this new Dark, like not having the farm that hard anymore for Dark Harvest, you can go for a Duskblade instead to have harder scaling. This is completely up to you. If you still prefer to go for Tiamat, it is a viable choice. This will allow you to farm your jungle camps a bit faster. But overall, I would say I personally don't build it anymore. I tend to go for a straight Duskblade rush, because this Duskblade is just going to allow me to just one-shot the enemy a lot faster. And this scales a bit faster. And since you do not need those Dark Harvest stacks anymore from clearing your jungle camps, Tiamat has kind of went out of favor. Also, Tiamat costs more. I'm not sure why it only says 1200 gold here, but it's 1375 right now. So increased cost on that also kind of hurts you a little bit more. And yeah, overall, rushing a Duskblade now is better, unless you are in a matchup where you have to farm a lot more, which then Tiamat does become better. So for farming, Tiamat better. Just in general, Duskblade is better, especially if you're scaling. If you get kills in the early game, you can easily get a Duskblade and just take off from there, because the damage is insane. Now, going from there, I'm gonna remove Tiamat because I just wanted to explain why you don't really build that anymore. Moving on from here, it is a pretty straightforward build. It is Ghostblade, it is a Lost Whisper variant, so either one of these two. If you are facing, just straight up, this is really the best one you want to go with because of the armor pen, like a lot of armor pen with it. But if they do have healing champions, like Mundo, like anything that just prefers healing, Mortal Reminder then becomes better. Now, moving on from here, you have a Death's Dance item option as well as the Guardian Angel. Now, this is a pretty straightforward full build. You start off with the Warrior enchant, then move on to any pair of boots, so Ninja Tabais or Mercs really. You can also just keep regular boots, and if you have enough money to just buy components of your Duskblade, that's a viable choice as well. Moving on from Duskblade, you pick up the Ghostblade, which just gives you an insane amount of move speed out of combat, which is going to help you a lot in just positioning yourself a lot better in team fights, as well as just catching people off. And then the Activator also gives a nice move speed increase too. So picking this up is gonna just completely unlock all of your mobility. And yeah, this item combination is really damage heavy and just insane. Now moving on from here, you can this is where you pick up the Lost Whisper. You can also build like a Guardian Angel if you tend to want to if you want to be a little bit safer when it comes to just not losing your bounty stacks. So let's say you are worth 1000 gold. Picking up a Guardian Angel might definitely be worth it if they don't have too much armor yet. So in that situation, to save your bounty, because 1000 gold is a lot to give to the enemy team, and because of that you kind of have to look to maybe buy a Guardian Angel a little bit earlier. So after a Ghostblade, a Guardian Angel is a very viable option to kind of secure that you don't just get one shot easily and give 1000 gold to the enemy if you're doing really well. So in that specific situation, that is a viable option too. Now, currently you're sitting at a 6-item build like this. The only other item that really works here is if you get rid of this jungle item and put a Death's Dance in there. Death's Dance is going to help you sustain in fights a lot easier. This is mostly important towards the later game. So it's a 5th or a 6th item. You can get the Guardian Angel. If you're not worth that much, Guardian Angel is not worth picking up there. and then you replace your jungle item with the Guardian Angel. So, where is it? I just deleted it like an idiot. There we go. So the Guardian Angel would then replace this slot as the very last item in your build, and Death's Dance would just be a 5th item that you can pick up to just have the healing. Healing is very important. Death's Dance is a crucial item on Kha'Zix because of the healing and just the ability to sustain in fights. So that is pretty much the full build for Kha'Zix. If you guys have any questions on this build, make sure to put those in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video so far, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button as well. And yeah, let's get right into the gameplay section now. Alright, welcome to the gameplay section of this guide. As you can see, I am playing Kha'Zix into a Lee Sin, which honestly isn't the worst matchup for Kha'Zix because you easily one-shot Lee Sin. Lee Sin does one-shot you as well, so getting caught out by him is definitely not optimal because a Q and an R combined with that with another Q pretty much kills you instantly since you are very squishy, so be aware of that. But in return, you do have the one-shot damage back to him. As you can see, I am starting top side here. The place you want to start on Kha'Zix is wherever your red buff is. So whether that's bot lane or top lane, either one is where you want to start because your clear is going to consist of doing red buff, then Krugs, then Raptors, and then see where you go from there. Now, the crucial thing to note here is the ward placement there. Now, something I do want to mention about this ward, this is not the optimal ward against the Lee Sin because he has the option to potentially jump this wall or even walk bot side, so it's better to place the ward just about here in this specific place where the mouse cursor is, because this sees this area, so we can't walk in like that and get to your blue buff, but it also sees this area, so we can't walk in from here and get to your blue buff. So a ward about there is a better placement, but this ward is good enough. It sees the Lee Sin fairly easily, and usually junglers walk from here to this side anyway, so this ward covers most of it. Now this ward is very important because you do not want to get counter jungled for free, because as you can see in just a second there, Lee Sin moves over it, and if I didn't know that because for this ward, then I could have just started clearing down to my wolf camp and then came to find out that my blue was gone, and I didn't counter jungle the Lee Sin, so that would have been really bad for me. That's why you want that ward. Now on the other side of the map, if you're starting here, you're doing the same thing. You clear this camp, and then this camp, and then see if you saw the enemy jungler on this ward, then you can go into his jungle because that means he most likely went for your blue buff. You can kind of see it from his pathing. If he walks into your jungle from here, then you know he's going for your blue buff. And if he just walks this way and out after clearing like a scuttle crab, then you can just clear up and you will be fine at that point. But this ward is very crucial, and please ask for it. If you don't get this ward from your team, then going Ghost Poro in your runes is worth doing. Now, because I knew that the Lee Sin is doing my blue buff, I can do his and just clear from there. The main back you're looking for initially is having enough gold to get your blue smite. That is the item you need to clear your jungle effectively, and yeah. Now, I just saw the Lee Sin mid. TF just back, so I can easily soak up this wave if I want to. I wanted to go for a little bit more gold, I think, and then, yeah. I'm currently sitting on 1000 gold, which is a perfect back time. So I just gotta clear the rest of my jungle here and go back for the blue smite and a longsword. As you can see, I'm just rushing the warrior. That's the item you want to get as fast as possible. Now, from this point onwards, you should really not lose that much health in your jungle anymore. You can sustain yourself pretty well, as you can see. No problems at all. Now, the main power spike you're farming for here is the level 6 power spike on Kha'Zix, because this is a very, very big deal. And yeah. Now, also, this is just showing you the power of Electrocute. I am not level 6 yet. This Urgot is full HP. I jump him, I Q midair, and I pretty much burst him for half his HP bar. Now, I do have a Twisted Fate in this specific game, who is level 6. So I'm kind of just hoping for Twisted Fate to move on this Urgot, and this should be easy kill at that point. Yeah, that's a pretty easy pickup. As soon as someone walks out of position like that, especially if you have a Twisted Fate, then you can just go on him very, very aggressive. You'll most likely win the 1v1. You saw the absurd amount of damage I did to that Urgot as well. So that's a very, like, it is big. And right now, as soon as you hit that level 6, those types of situations become even easier to kill because you just deal an incredible amount of damage once you hit that level 6 spike. Now, a very viable tactic for Kha'Zix ganks is just placing a ward in either one of these brushes, like a control ward. At that, you need to know if there's vision or not. And if you're standing right here and Cinder is standing right here, you can just press your R, get a good amount of distance so you don't have to leap. Then you can smite Q and just auto attack the Syndra. If she kind of stands about here, and if you do that, then you can save your leap for in case she flashes away, and that is going to be a very easy gank. So I'm kind of just waiting around here, seeing for a good opportunity. Syndra walks up a little bit too far. I press my ultimate. You are serious. I press my ultimate. I do leap there because she kind of pathed it a little bit awkwardly for me. It went off my character. So waiting here, waiting here, waiting here. Pressed R. Too fast. Can I get this right? I'm waiting here, waiting for Syndra to walk up just a little bit further than this, because this is an impossible gank situation. See this? TF gets the stun card. I do leap on him there because he walked this specific direction, so getting the leap there was better. This little bit of extra distance allows me to get that range. If I just walk out here, she can instantly just flash or do anything like that and get a little bit more range on me. Now, Syndra does have cleanse, so that's a little bit awkward, and that's a specific situation. If she didn't have cleanse up, she would have been dead right there, straight up. From there, going back to clearing my jungle, I am getting pretty close to just completing my jungle item, so I'm really looking to farm for that right now. And as soon as I get that, I want to back, like, you just want to back as fast as you can, as soon as you complete your jungle item. I'm pretty sure I have the gold for it right now. Yep, there you go. Finish my warrior enchant, and this is the power spike you are waiting for. This is where your game starts completely taking off. You have a very good early game still, as you saw earlier with that Urgot. But at this moment in time, you're going to just see an incredible increase in your damage. So right here, I am pathing in a direction that they don't just see me. So if you walk a bit this way and that way, instead of walking like that or maybe like this, you're going to get spotted here. If you walk like this, you don't get spotted. So what I'm doing here is I use my ultimate to get as much range as possible to get closer to this without them seeing me. So as you can see right there, I jump from this direction, they didn't see me. I jump on the minions, that's what my goal is right here, to try to get as much AoE damage on this as possible to get the isolation range. And then I just simply flash the Lee Sin Q because that's the only way he can kill me. Not saying that he would have killed me, but that's the only way he can kill me, so it's a little bit safer. So again, as you can see me just waiting here. I path this direction so I don't get spotted by vision. And then use my ultimate to get as close as possible. I jump on the minions, try to land my W on everything so I get the isolation range on that, and I pretty much kill both. So that was a very good example of trying to, like, getting as much range as possible. And if you're jumping onto, like, let's say a minion wave, like caster minions like that, if you land your E on that, plus your W on those as well, it will one-shot that backline. So it will instantly proc your isolation range, and that's something you definitely want to look for. Now again, try to keep up the pressure if you're playing Kha'Zix. Try to keep up the pressure on the Scuttle Crabs. You are a very menacing 1v1 champion. There is pretty much no one in the game at this point that can actually beat you. Xin Zhao is one of them just because of the sheer duel potential he has. And if he goes Red Smite, then you are pretty much fucked. But if you are facing any other champion, really, then you can easily 1v1 them in like that in the river, especially if you have your ultimate. So going for plays on that Scuttle Crab is definitely something you want to prioritize on Kha'Zix. Same type of gank goes here. Control is still in the brush, so Syndra does not see me. Syndra currently does not have her cleanse up, so all TF has to do is land the CC on that. And I just gotta walk up at that point and pretty much finish the kill. There you go. As soon as you, like, clear a cleanse or maybe a flash of an immobile mage in mid lane, is a very good idea to come back more often, because this is going to allow you to get a lot easier kills. And always after a gank, especially now in this current meta, you need to get, or like current patch I would say rather than meta, get turret platings. Those turret platings are crucial. They give a lot of gold to you and your laner. So if you get a kill and maybe like 2 or 3 turret platings, that is a that's like getting 2 kills just straight up for just one play. That is a lot of like gold you can get from that. So prioritize the turret platings after you get the kill is very, very important. As you can see right there, that is a perfect example of why it is kind of scary playing in Kha'Zix into Lee Sin. He pretty much one-shot me as well. If he would have kicked me, like, I mean, he would have had to kick me before he used the second Q. But if he did like a Q, R, Q, or maybe flash over the wall, kick me, and then Q me, I would have died. So that is, yeah, beware of that. Alright, here, just going to, back to just clearing our camps. I currently have 1800 gold, and as you can see, I am rushing, I'm buying Boots of Speed, and I'm rushing into a Duskblade. This is gonna give me the best scaling potential I can get, and yeah, right here. Go back. It's gonna give me the best, like, just one-shot burst damage, and it's gonna allow me to scale a lot easier because I can just pick off people like that very easily. Now right here, I see a Lulu, which pretty much just instantly means that she's dead. Also, TF is following this very, very quickly, which is nice. As you can see, the Q damage on that Lee Sin right there is insane. Like, getting a little bit of a lead on Kha'Zix, I pretty much just half HP to Lee Sin with 1 Q. That's gonna get worse, by the way, if you get your Duskblade. Now, Dragon, also a very easy objective Kha'Zix can prioritize. As soon as you complete your Warrior Jungle item, another power spike Kha'Zix gets is that he can easily solo Dragons really quickly because of his Q. And you want to opt for that if the Dragons are good. So, like, an Infernal Dragon is very, very good. It's a very good strategy to just go for that if you can. Now, Syndra is walking up just straight up too far. And at this point, you know, any mobile, like, immobile champion or any squishy, if you have your Stalker's Blade Warrior and then, like, maybe a Serrated Dirk or your Duskblade, the one-shot damage is insane. And then combine that with Electrocute, just straight up one-shot damage is incredible. Look at this, 1 QE hit that, Electrocute proc W, he's dead. It's very easy at that point, and this is why Electrocute is very, very good right now at this stage of the game, and also why it's the rune you want to go for. Because without Electrocute, I would not have, like, one-shot him that hard. Sure, I have a lead, and yeah, but most of this lead does, like, it's a byproduct of having Electrocute and just having that extra burst damage throughout the early game to get kills a little bit easier. Now, big important thing to remember is to do, like, still keep clearing your camps. If you stop clearing your camps and fall behind, you want to avoid that at all costs, because no matter how many kills you get, if you don't get the farm and the experience to, like, go with that, then you're gonna be at, like, nowhere. You're gonna be way too far behind. So picking that up is very important. Now, Lulu is a very, very frustrating champion to play against, because that would have been easy double kill, but Lulu's polymorph is pretty OP. Get the kill there. As soon as you get that kill, you hit level 11, by the way, your resets are gonna allow you to get stuff done a lot easier. So yeah, I'm pretty much just looking to push here, get the other turret. Turret platings are down, but just getting turrets down is very important. The outer line of turrets on Kha'Zix, getting those down is really what you're looking for, because that allows you to walk into the enemy's jungle a lot easier and get a lot more picks. So as Kha'Zix, try to look to get the outer turret line pretty much as fast as you can. If you don't do this and you walk into the enemy jungle, you're gonna find yourself in a very tough situation. Behind turrets, you don't have a completely, like, different escape route. You don't have this option. You will always have to walk, like, here or maybe this way. You don't have the option to walk here, and just the enemy has a lot more vision, so if they walk into your jungle, they're a little bit safer than if they're down, so you really look to get that. Now, for some reason, the Lulu walks up a little bit too far there and just gets one shot, really. Right here, Lulu, very much in a position like a QE flat, like a flash EQ. Pretty much kills Lulu. I then do miss my leap on Lee Sin and get killed for it, which is really just bad on, like, my mechanics. So I one-shot him there. I pretty much one-shot the Lee Sin, but because he kind of ward-hopped that E, I missed it. And because I missed it, I pretty much died to the turret. Soraka did pick up the kill, but that was not optimal for me. Now that's 2,500 gold, which is gonna be a massive buy for me. Gets me my Duskblade and my other Serrated Dirk. As you can see, again, I didn't opt for my boots, because just picking up straight damage is a lot more valuable than just getting boots. If you do not have the straight money to buy, like, a Serrated Dirk or complete, like, Duskblade items or Ghostblade items or anything like that, then getting boots is better. But in snowballing situations, just, like, remaining on normal boots is the better option, because the only boots you're picking up really are boots that will make you tankier. Now, this is just a perfect example of Kha'Zix being completely insane at this point. If you complete your Duskblade item, this is the perfect example of just delete. That guy was gone. Like, there was nothing he could have done at that point, and this is the ideal situation you want to get to, and that's why you rush Duskblade and don't get Tiamat anymore. Now right here, I am just looking to get vision control in the enemy jungle. The top and the mid turret are down, so this jungle is completely mine now. You can, at that point, start to just take that one over fully. And really the last thing you want to look for is getting the bot side down too. I'm looking to, like, this also, by the way, once you clear this, it gives you the flanking position from this side. So if people are low from the enemy team, they will tend to walk towards their turrets or towards their nexus, rather, let's just say that. And if you come from, like, different directions, like here, if anything is down, then you can flank them a lot easier and just get the damage on them and just one-shot them or get resets that way. Duskblade helps with this because this allows you to see if you walked over any wards, and then the combination with the Oracle Lens helps you with that as well. So positional advantage is a very big thing, and that's why you want to get that outer line of turrets down as well. That fight didn't go too great for us. At this point, you mainly just want to look for an opening like that to go into. That's the main thing you want to do in team fights as well. Look for openings. Right here, I could jump in, potentially go maybe Sivir here, and she's standing right next to like the Syndra, Urgot right here. There's really not much I can do. I just have to look for an opening, a situation where I can jump in. Now Cassio provides me this situation by pretty much killing the Sivir and opening up the Urgot. So right there, as you can see, the straight burst damage from the Duskblade proc combined with the Electrocute just one-shots Urgot from that health. And at that point, I could have gone on resetting, but they already backed off. I'm just picking up another dragon. You have a lot of damage, and yeah, right here. I'm kind of just waiting, maybe to leap over this red right here. As you can see right now, the enemy is respawning very soon, so that's the thing I really want to go for. I do see Lee Sin, and as you can see, just the damage and the electrocute proc there, he got pretty much deleted. He didn't die, but as you saw as well, because the only reason he lived through that is because of Red Smite, and the QRQ combo, if he would have finished that off, I could have been dead. Now, sure, I did enough damage to him, like, fast enough to where I couldn't go for it anymore. I couldn't go in deeper because he would have just one-shot me. Yeah. Now, another questionable play, let me just put it that way, from Lulu right there. She tried to 1v1 me in isolation range, which, honestly, not the greatest choice. Would not, like, recommend if you're playing a squishy to walk up to a Kha'Zix like that, but yeah. She just walks up, gives me a free kill at that point, and easy pickings from there. As you can see, main thing I'm here making sure that I do here is just get my farm going still. I am looking to just back and get my Ghostblade and my boots. I think I can finish both with this clear. And as soon as you pick up your Ghostblade, your movement speed is going to increase an insane amount, especially if you combine it with tier 2 boots. So right there you see me finish my Ghostblade and my tier 2 boots, and right now you see me walk around the map a lot faster. Like, the increased move speed you have at this point, that's just insane. That's gonna allow you to get the positional advantage a lot easier, and this is really like the incredible power spike Kha'Zix gets. You can see that's an instant delete on Lee Sin, and this is really just what you want to look for. So any type of out of position champion like that, like the Sivir right there, a little bit of out of position, she gets into isolation range, you just jump on him and he's gone. Again, movement speed allowing me to get a lot of position on the Urgot there too, and this is just from here it's over. So the early game, you just gotta make sure you look for a lot of picks. With Electrocute, Kha'Zix has a lot of kill potential in the early game, and the main thing you want to do is gank to get the outer line of turrets down, so you have the pressure to go into the enemy jungle and get a lot more free kills like that. Get vision control in their jungle. Duskblade and the Oracle Lens help you a lot with just getting vision control in general. It will tell you if you're walking over a ward, so if you got spotted or not, and then that way catching people is going to be a lot easier. Now this specific game, a 12-in-1 Kha'Zix pretty much carried my entire team, and that is a very common game you can get these days with Kha'Zix. Honestly would say pretty strong champion, would still highly recommend. If you guys enjoyed this video so far, if you guys have enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to see any more guides, hit the subscribe button as well. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye!